Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're looking at a Daily Mail Cryptic Crossword for the 23rd of May. Let's get started. So the Daily Mail is a relatively friendly cryptic crossword. It is challenging in places, but it should be a good exercise. Let's see what we've got. Second date for Roman teams. I'm not sure what we're looking at there. There's no obvious positional words. There's no obvious definition. Could be a double definition. Stupid fool going after credit. Credit can be CR, and after sounds very positional. So if we start with our CR and then after that have a word for fool, an ass could give us, will give us crass. That could mean stupid. In my mind, crass means more sort of rude rather than stupid. Showing no intelligence or sensitivity. I think I focus more on the sensitivity part of that when I think about it. But yeah, showing no intelligence, stupid. That makes sense. Okay, we've got a 5-letter word with an A. Let's try that. Old Mexican, first and last detective. Aztec? Yes. So the Aztecs lived in Mexico, so your definition is Old Mexican. First and last is referring to the first and last letters of the alphabet. And a detective, I think we're shortening to tech here. Which I wouldn't say is an abbreviation that I would use commonly or hear, but it certainly fits, and we make both the definition and the wordplay work. Move at fair speed, taking wrong turning. I think this is a double definition. If you're moving at a fair speed, you're moving at a fair turn, and if you take a wrong turning, you're taking a wrong turn. Turn and turning feels too close, actually. Let's try and get that crossing letter, and if it is an R, then okay, sure, we'll take it. But Southern Post Office applies for partners. I think that's going to be spouses. So Southern is S in the compass points. PO, I think is probably a map notation. We know from Faulty Towers that it can be P off, and then if you apply something, you use it. So applies can be uses, and that gives us spouses. Yeah, so that's not trot. If you move at a fair speed, you're going at a trot. If you're taking a wrong turning, could that be a trot? Might come back to that one. Champs first could be the letter C. We've got a letter C to start with. Painful moves in important match. An important match, 3 and then 5, could be a cup final. Painful is 7 letters with the C as well, so I think this is an anagram. And moves is obviously an indicator of moving things around, so feels sensible. Talk about field event before start of school. We talk about something, you chat, you discuss it. Yes, discuss. So you talk about, you discuss. Field event will be discuss, 1S, and then start of school at the end is another S. Okay, we've only got 2 ways out of this, so we might need to do another crossing clue from blank in a bit. Gas that makes sack wet. Sack wet does not feel like it's going to be a definition. I'm thinking we're looking for a gas. I'm thinking that makes is just joining the 2 parts of our clue together. And that sack wet is our wordplay. If something is wet, it might be damp. But is there a gas that ends in damp? Bag damp. That doesn't feel likely. Penniless family seen in street. So in here, I don't think is just joining. If it was just joining, then either our definition or our wordplay is street, and that feels weird. Also, street can be abbreviated to ST. So I think we're putting a word for family in street. Family, 3-letter word, could be kin. Your kith and kin. Good tidings we bring for you and your kin. That gives us skint, which does mean penniless. Try some private study. Some here I think is a hidden indicator. We do have TEST, test within private study, which if you test something you try it. One puts clothes on sideboard. Dresser. Yeah, this is double definition. A sideboard could be a dresser, a Welsh dresser, for example. And and someone who puts clothes on, either themselves or someone else, is someone who is dressing. They are a dresser. Second date. Okay. So teams here is our definition. Second can be abbreviated to S. And then a date for Roman. The day that Julius Caesar was killed on is the Ides of March, the 15th of March. So we're going for Ides here. That gives us sides, which means teams. Circus performer, close up or close up. Seal, yes. Not all that popular nowadays to have a seal as a circus performer, and in fact I think circuses there aren't a huge number. Animals in circuses is controversial as well. There is a song from, bear with me here, I think it's the 1970s or 1980s. There was a TV series with a musician, Ralph McTell. Had a couple of series, and every episode they would sing a song about an animal. There is an album that is available that is very good for children. You've got a song about Boris the Bat, a song about Holly the Hedgehog, Camilla the Camel, and Sammy the Seal, who is a circus performer who just wants to do things. And the ringmaster only wants him to balance a ball on the end of his nose. I mean, damp looks like it works here, doesn't it? Or am I just assuming it works because I like that I had it before? Maybe. Gas. What would a gas be? Gas that makes sack wet. Both of these look like they're going to be problems. We've got all of the crossing letters and I'm not sure what they are at the moment. We'll come back, we'll think on them. They won't keep beer. I splash all over the place. Beer I splash is a weird collection of letters. Feel it could be anagram fodder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, so beer I splash is anagram fodder all over the place, saying we're going to move them around. They won't keep. Could that be something perishable or plural perishables? I think so. Looks like it works, doesn't it? That gives us a good few crossing letters. Not a lot of money for snack food. Snack food. Pringle. Nope. Is European allowed to dance round it in the spring? Maypole. So the European here is a Polish person, a person from Poland, or a Pole. The word allowed here, or the question, are they allowed to? You're asking the phrase, may the Pole do this? May Pole do that? And yeah, to dance around it in the spring. May Day, you've got a maypole. Bird seed. Not sure. Experts writing, by the sound of it. And experts, too common. So experts is often wordplay. There's two common synonyms that are short: pro or ace, or plural pros or aces. In this case, it's the definition. Writing, you've got two sorts of writing. You've got poetry and you've got non-poetry, which is called prose, Prose. This sounds like writing. It sounds like prose, but professionals, experts is our definition. We want to roll with these across clues. Let's try this. Try and do this. Try to get information from shoe. Try to get information. The information could be a clue. It could be a hint. It could be... No. What about shoe? Something you get from a shoe. Maybe a type of shoe. Clog. Sabbat. Not sure. Miser gets drunk. Miser getting drunk initially, wants another drink. I'm reading that as a word for miser, and we're putting in a D, drunk initially. Maybe it's getting... there's lots of different ways you could do this. Maybe it's a word for miser, and our wordplay is getting drunk or drunk. Maybe initially for a D, maybe initially for a W from once, and then another drink. So another drink could be a name of a drink, something short, rum, tonic. Perhaps a teddy bear, somewhat fed up. A teddy bear could be a Ted. That doesn't feel like it, likely, does it? Somewhat fed up. I mean, fed up could be a definition, especially if it's got a question mark after it, or somewhat fed up. Also, up could be, not really in a cross clue maybe, but up could be a backward indicator. Bird for renowned old sailor. Are there any short synonyms for renowned? Famous. Famed old sailor. Renowned old sailor could be looking for a proper noun, like Jason. I don't think, as in Jason and the Argonauts. I don't think it is, because there's not a bird called Jason, but maybe. Okay. What else have we got then? We've got some down clues we've not looked at. Oldies at dance. Left alone. Oldies at could be anagram fodder. Dance could be an anagram indicator. If the letters dance around, they could move. Left alone. Could be an IED ending. IED SLTAO. Isolated. Not a lot of money for snack food. We had to look at that one. Set out to alter girl. To alter is 7 letters. We've got an L and an R. Set out could be an anagram indicator. Could this be a girl's name? Loretta. That feels okay, doesn't it? bird seed in tray initially. Bird seed could be pips, pits, nuts. Could be looking for a bird, and this is C in tray. Tray initially though. If this in is not joining, if this is positional, seed in tray initially. Tray initially sounds like it's T, and you can't really put something in a single letter. Severely criticised roofing material. Double definition, slate. If you slate something, you criticise it, and it is a building material for tiles. Old French artist. Not quite up. If something is up, it is risen, it is rise, it is... I'm not sure. I'm thinking we're looking for something that means up. We're not quite taking all of it, but we'll see. Because of the number of times that the word drink comes up here, I'm looking at this and thinking that maybe it could be like, I was thinking the word teetotal. It doesn't fit, but what could we get then? Miser, getting drunk. Another drink could be tea. Perhaps a teddy bear. Does feel like it could be Ted. It is Ted, but not because it's a teddy bear. Perhaps a teddy bear, somewhat, is our wordplay. We're taking part of this. S-A from perhaps a T-E-D, teddy bear. You're not fed up as in irritated by something. This is what the question mark is doing. You're fed up in terms of you have been fed and you are now full. Sated means full. Okay, let's have a quick look at that in the dictionary. Sated, to fill or satisfy. Yeah, there we go. Alright, we've got some ending letters on this now then. Not a lot of money for snack food. Okay, peanuts. It's double definition. A snack food is a peanut, or peanuts are snack food, and peanuts can mean not a lot of money. What's the phrase? Pay peanuts, get monkeys, or something like that. So that feels fine. Try to get information from shoe. Still not sure what we're looking at in terms of the structure of this clue though. Information could be I, so could this be a 3-letter word for try? And that gives us a shoe. If that is right, information has to be here because it's the only other inside letter. We gave it a try, we gave it a go, we gave it a attempt. Shoe. Is there anything a shoe could be other than an actual shoe? They use shoes in casinos for dealing out the cards. I'm not sure. Alright, let's have this little think about. If you try to get information from someone, you quiz them. You might ask them questions. Is there any chance that a quiz could be a shoe? And also Z in this feels unlikely. So a quick look at quiz in the dictionary. Could it be an information? A shoe. It doesn't look like it, does it? No, I don't think I like that. Also, I've been really lucky. Like, I was using the I as one sort of wordplay, and then I turned the whole thing into a definition, so that didn't feel like it was plausible. But so tray initially feels like it's going to be this T. In, is there any chance that that is just the letters in? But then a seed. Then we're looking for a 2-letter word for seed, which feels unlikely, and a U at the end of there feels reasonably unlikely as well. If it was that, could it be point? What could PO mean? Could that be a seed? No, but it could be a bird, but that doesn't really help. Could be a peacock. A seed could be... A seed could be the start of something, right? Could we use seed in the same way as we might use origin or initially and take the first letter of B, of bird being B, and have that in a word for tray? And then the whole thing meaning initially. In that case, it would mean like start or something which works with the T but not the P. So I'm still thinking this definition is maybe bird and maybe renowned old sailor. Could it be double definition? But what's a bird that would go there? Old French artist. Not quite up. Old French artist is wordplay. What could that be? Old could be F, O. F could be F. French could be F or FR. But in both of those cases, an artist could be RA for recording artist. Could be just the name of an old French artist. If you get up, you might arise. If we're not taking quite all of it, then we could have something like heiress, which sounds like it could be a French name. I'm just thinking in the realms of like Portos, heiress, and is it heiress and Aramis, Athos, sorry, like the Three Musketeers. Heiress artist. What is that? It doesn't look likely, does it? I mean, that was just very much kind of a... I think once we get one of these 3 words, this becomes... The other should fall into place. And similarly, once we get one of these, the other one here will. It's still these 2 up here that makes me a little bit nervous. Okay, so the second part of this video managed to corrupt. So I've come back in to redo the end of the puzzle, which is why the time is so different. Yeah, spoiler alert, we got there. So let's run through what I did last time then. So at this point here, I decided that this must start with pip, and on looking at birds, we got a piper or a pipit. We had the T, so we decided that that had to be it. And then in terms of the clue, bird, seed, in tray. So pip is our seed, and then in tray initially, the I and the T. With that letter there, this just fell into place. Took me maybe a minute, but yeah, this is a double definition. We played the word quiz, which didn't go smoothly. But yeah, if you try to get information from someone, then you pump them for information, and a ballet pump or just a pump is a sort of shoe. Over here, I realised that a miser, someone could be a tightwad. And then thinking about that, we managed to see that initially, once another drink was our WOD, surmised that probably tight was a synonym for drunk. And very low down on the list, the 7th definition, informal. Yeah, we had drunk. So managed to see that one there would work. Having the G in there immediately got for old French artist, as we were reading it before. Turns out we were reading it wrong. This is actually old as our definition, French artist not quite up as our wordplay. So if you're old, you're aged. Then French artist not quite up. We're taking most of the name of a French artist and turned it up. So in this case, Degas, Degas is our French artist. We did search for Degas with an R. But yeah, Degas was our answer there. And at that point, because of the crossing letters, I saw that this was going to be Drake. So Francis Drake, who was I think was alive in the reign of Queen Elizabeth I, is the renowned old sailor, and a bird. Yeah, turns out Drake. I knew it was a bird. I didn't know what sort of bird. And we realised that was a duck. I'm more familiar with the word Drake in terms of like its fantasy setting, naming convention. So something like a dragon. I don't know what the difference is between a drake and a dragon. Is a drake just a small dragon? Anyway, then came back to this and decided that while damp was probably like good. Sack we were reading wrong earlier. I was reading that as if it was like a Hessian sack, an object, but actually sack can also be a verb, to let someone go, to get rid of them, to fire them. Decided that fire damp was probably could be a gas. Turns out it's an old name for methane. Used a lot in the early 20th century. I looked at this one again for a minute. Decided I didn't have anything better than my earlier guess of trot, and put it in to see what would happen, and lucked out. So I think looking back on this puzzle, yeah, it was a very fair puzzle. So thank you very much to Michael Curl for doing it. But in terms of how I managed it, I think for the most part it went quite well. I think probably I spent the last the last couple of minutes talking. I showed probably like 10 minutes of the thinking time for those last few clues. So yeah, I think toward the end, a couple I could have done a little better on. The one clue I didn't really understand was this trot, and still don't. So if anyone can see what the wordplay is here, so move at a fair speed is a trot. I'm fairly happy with that. But taking wrong turn, what could that be? Wrong could be an anagram indicator. Turning could be an anagram indicator, but I'm not seeing it. So yeah, anyone got a clue? Leave it in the comments. It'd be much appreciated. So yeah, that concludes today's. It was a nice puzzle, and yeah, looking forward to tomorrow's. So if you enjoyed what you saw, do like and subscribe. Come back again tomorrow. If you want to do the Daily Mail Cryptic Crossword before I do a run through, then the link is in the description. And until next time, thank you very much.